hadn't been to my grandparents' old house in years. Not since they passed away. Not since the place became too quiet. Too empty. Too painful. But that afternoon, I had no choice. The lawyer called. "We need you to check something," he said. "Some documents are missing." So I drove 3 hours. Alone. Through roads I used to travel as a child. Past fields. Past shops. Past memories. When I reached, the house looked frozen in time. Paint peeling. Windows dusty. Garden overgrown. The swing in the yard still creaking in the wind. I unlocked the door. The same smell hit me. Old wood. Books. Tea leaves. Home. My heart tightened. I walked in slowly. Every step echoed. Like the house was breathing with me. I started in the living room. Old sofa. Faded photos. Grandpa's clock still ticking. I smiled sadly. Nothing had changed. Upstairs was their bedroom. Closet full of folded clothes. Grandma's scarves. Grandpa's prayer cap. I sat on the bed for a moment, holding one of her shawls, when my phone rang. Loud. Sudden. Violent. I jumped. Almost dropped it. Unknown number. I hesitated. Then answered. "Hello." Silence. Static. Then a shaky voice. "Please, don't touch the drawer." My blood ran cold. "Who is this?" I asked. No answer. The call cut. I stared at my phone. Heart pounding. My first thought was a prank. But something felt wrong. Too real. Too scared. I checked the signal. Full bars. No reason for interference. I tried calling back. Number unavailable. My hands were sweating now. I looked around. The room suddenly felt smaller. Colder. Like someone was watching. I laughed nervously. "Get a grip," I whispered. But my eyes drifted to the dresser. 3 drawers. All closed. All innocent looking. The middle one had a small crack. Barely visible. Like it had been opened recently. That made no sense. No one had been here in years. I slowly walked toward it. Each step felt heavy. My phone buzzed again. A message. From the same unknown number. "Please. If you love them, don't open it." My throat went dry. Love them. How did this person know? Know about my grandparents. Know about me. I sat on the floor, trying to think. Call the police. Call the lawyer. Leave. But curiosity is dangerous. And grief makes you brave. I remembered my grandfather's words. Some truths are hidden to protect you. At the time, I laughed. Now, they felt like a warning. I reached out. My fingers touched the drawer handle. Cold. Metal. Real. Whatever was inside had scared someone enough to beg me. And I was about to find out why. Because what I would discover in that old house would change everything I thought I knew about my family. Forever. I pulled my hand back. For a moment, I just sat there, breathing, listening. The house was silent. Too silent. No cars. No birds. No voices. Only my heartbeat. Loud. Fast. Unforgiving. I stood up and locked the bedroom door. My hands were shaking. Then, slowly, I walked back to the dresser. "This is stupid," I muttered. "I'm scaring myself." But the message was still on my screen. Real. Undeniable. I took a deep breath. And opened the drawer. Inside, there was nothing dramatic at first. No money. No jewelry. No weapons. Just papers. Old envelopes. A small wooden box. And a faded notebook. I lifted the notebook first. It was my grandmother's handwriting. Soft. Careful. Beautiful. The first page read, "If you are reading this, it means I'm gone. And the truth can no longer hurt me." My chest tightened. I sat on the bed and kept reading. Page after page. It wasn't a diary. It was a confession. She wrote about something that happened 40 years ago. About a baby. A baby that wasn't supposed to exist. My heart started racing. She had gotten pregnant before marrying my grandfather, in a time when that meant shame, disgrace, exile. Her family forced her to give the baby away. Secretly. No records. No names. No goodbye. I never stopped looking, she wrote. But I was afraid of destroying my family. Tears blurred my vision. I had never known. No one had. At the bottom of the last page was a name. And a phone number. Still legible. Still haunting. I grabbed the wooden box next. Inside were letters. Dozens. All unopened. Addressed to my grandmother. From the same person. For decades. She had never opened them. Because she was scared. Scared of remembering. Scared of consequences. Then my phone rang again. Same number. This time, I answered immediately. Is this about the letters? I demanded. A pause. Then a man's voice. Older. Tired. Yes, he said quietly. She was my mother. My breath stopped. I'm your uncle, he continued. The child they took away. My knees went weak. I sat down hard. He explained everything. How he had found out the truth. How he had tried to contact her. How he had been watching the house for days. Afraid someone would throw everything away. I didn't mean to scare you, he said. I just couldn't lose her again. Then came the twist. There's more, he added. Your grandparents didn't just hide me. They hid something else. My stomach dropped. What? I whispered. There's a second compartment, he said. Under the drawer. Open it. My hands trembled as I searched. I felt a small switch. Clicked it. The bottom panel slid open. Inside was a sealed envelope. Stamped. Legal. Official. And labeled with my name. My hands hovered over the envelope for a long time. My name. Written in my grandfather's handwriting. Careful. Protective. Like he was still trying to shield me. I finally opened it. Inside were legal documents. A will. A trust. Property records. And a handwritten letter. It said, My child. If you are reading this, it means the truth has come out. We made mistakes. Out of fear. Out of shame. Out of love, in the wrong way. We hid your uncle. We hid our past. But we never stopped loving him. And we saved this for you. So you could reunite what we broke. Tears fell onto the paper. The documents showed that part of the house, the land, and savings were meant for the child they lost. And for me. Together. Not divided. Shared. My uncle arrived an hour later. Standing at the doorway. Nervous. Hopeful. Broken. We stared at each other. Strangers by blood. Family by truth. I walked toward him. And hugged him. He cried like a child. I thought they forgot me, he whispered. They never did, I replied. They were just afraid. We sat in the old living room. Reading letters. Sharing stories. Filling 40 years of silence. That house, once empty, became alive again. Later, we met the lawyer. The will was honored. Everything was divided fairly. No fights. No greed. No secrets anymore. That day, I learned something powerful. Families don't break because of truth. They break because of fear. My grandparents weren't perfect. But they tried. In the end, they gave us a second chance. To heal. To reconnect. To belong. And in that quiet old house, I didn't just find documents. I found lost family. And a future built on honesty.